Hello, everybody. Yeah, we were.
Okay.
We were good until you messed me up. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. My name is William Bibiani. This is Whitney Seibold. If you're new,
Hi. And.
These are the beautiful faces we have for the voices on the show. And this, of course, is Serge. Sergio, the official mascot.
Serge was named after that really awful Mountain Dew knockoff from the late 90s.
That's right.
And he's way cooler than that awful stuff, though.
He's way cooler than anybody, isn't he? He's so cute.
I was once given free samples of Serge when it was brand new.
The drink.
The drink.
Not the cat.
There were representatives, attractive young ladies in hot pants, like Hooters-type outfits, wandering up and down the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, California, handing out free cans of Surge.
Because nothing was cooler than Surge.
Well, that's what they were trying to ensure at the very end. This was back when Fruitopia was big. And they were handing out free cans. Just making sure it was in the consciousness and in your mouth. And I took 2.
How was it?
I drank 1. It was kind of gross. But it was hot and I was kind of thirsty.
What did you do with the other can?
I drank that as well. I waited about 2 hours. I saw a movie. Then I drank the second can.
You savored it. You waited. You knew that it was like that marshmallow. Like you wait 2 hours, you get 2 marshmallows.
Maybe I'm a little odd, but I can't finish too much soda in one sitting.
You are odd.
So I waited on the second can. I drank the second can, and it wreaked havoc in my body. That second can, it was far too much. I started getting nervous and kind of jittery and kind of sweaty and really, really, really sick. And that is my experience with Surge.
Now, as we all know, you came to Cancel Too Soon and subscribed on Patreon to find out about that one time Whitney tried Surge Cola.
It wasn't cola. It was like green.
It was cola. It's
awful.
a soda. It's a fizzy drink. Every month on Cancel Too Soon, we do a poll. And you get to help us decide a future episode of Cancel Too Soon. The winner of our last poll was a tie. Or at the very least, it was after a really, really long period of time as we decided, screw it, we'll do both. And we got Cliffhangers, which is a really strange, weird show where they tried to do 3 different, very ambitious programs all in 1 hour shoved together. And also WizKids, which is like that 90s movie Hackers, but with preteens in the early 80s. You couldn't decide, so we're doing both. But that's July. August, we have a new poll. A poll courtesy of Whitney Seibold with a theme.
I have a theme. Now, speaking of crap that makes your body hurt from the late 90s, this was thematic, by the way.
That was a good segue.
If you were alive in 1995, you all might recall a little something called the UPN. Paramount decided to launch their own TV network, the United Paramount Network. They called it UPN. It debuted in mid-1995 with the premiere of Star Trek Voyager, which was their one big, huge, successful show. It lasted 7 seasons.
So we can't cover it on Cancel Too Soon.
So we can't cover that on Cancel Too Soon.
Don't get your hopes up.
Most of the shows they debuted all crashed and burned rather spectacularly.
Yes.
Now, the more notorious ones are not available, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, The Secret Diaries of Desmond Pfeiffer, we'll keep an eye out.
We're looking for it, but it's harder to find than you might think, or at the very least, it's harder to find in its entirety. Like, individual episodes are readily available, but the whole thing, a little harder than we thought.
Not so much. No, if you don't know The Secret Diaries of Desmond Pfeiffer, it was a sitcom about Abraham Lincoln's butler,
played by Chi McBride.
Yeah. And how Abraham Lincoln was secretly a stupid idiot, and it was Chi McBride who was giving him all of his wisdom. It was hailed as being just as offensive as it sounds, and it's often called one of the worst sitcoms of all time.
I've seen enough of it to back that up.
See it.
We'll get to it. We're just trying to make sure we can track down every episode.
Same with stuff like Homeboys from Outer Space. One I really wanted to do is Richard Jeni's sitcom Platypus Man. Really not easy to find.
There's one called Deadly Games, which we're trying to track down, which had like Christopher Lloyd, and it was all about like video game supervillains busting into the real world. I remember seeing an episode or 2 of that when it came out, and holy crap, did that suck. That was amazing.
There are, however, some short-lived UPN TV shows that are readily available on DVD, and in fact, some of which we already have thanks to you, some of
Yeah.
our listeners, who mailed them in when we put up that Amazon wish list. We still have many. We're going to get to them all, no
Yes.
worries, but you get to choose the first UPN series we're going to do next.
Yes.
Now-
So your first 4 options, the ones that you can vote for, 1 vote per customer, the winner, and we're not going to let you do a tie every single time, so don't get cute. The winner we will
Don't
review in
stuff the
August.
ballot box. Make this
Okay,
honest.
so what have we got?
We have the Matthew Fox series Haunted.
Yes. In which Matthew Fox was haunted. And I actually saw this whole thing when it came out. This was Matthew Fox
okay.
just before Lost. And he played a private detective who could see ghosts. And isn't that fun? That was a cool thing to do.
The second one, the one show that's not The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., Legend.
Starring the inimitable Richard Dean Anderson and John Delancey, aka Q. This was a cowboy show with a lot of like anachronistic science. And he would solve crimes and save the day using futuristic technology invented by basically his Q, played by Q, John Delancey.
Isn't that cute?
And this was the show for many years I thought Briscoe County Jr. was.
They are strikingly similar.
They came out
aired
around the
at
same
about
time.
the same time. I think they even aired at the same time.
It would not
I think
surprise
they were on
me.
the air concurrently.
Yeah.
That one, I guess they both lasted 1 season. That one, not quite as long a season, though.
No, and we do know that we have to do Briscoe County Jr. eventually. We're saving it. Special occasion.
We got plans for The Adventures of Briscoe
Okay.
County Jr. This is one I actually watched, and I never actually got through the entirety of, so I would be looking forward to this one were you to choose.
This one's going to be fun.
Bruce Greenwood in Nowhere Man. A kind of riff on The Prisoner, if you remember that miniseries from the 60s in Britain, the Patrick McGowan show.
It's The Prisoner kind of meets The Fugitive, really.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Bruce Greenwood plays a photographer who takes a photograph he shouldn't have. He wakes up one day, no one can remember who he is, and there's bad guys after
His
him.
wife doesn't recognize him. Actually, it's not even when he wakes up. He goes to the bathroom. He's on a date with his wife. He goes to the bathroom. He comes back, and during that time, he no longer exists.
Just he's been somehow erased, and there's this
Yeah.
shadowy cabal that might be behind it, and maybe there's something supernatural going on. It's all really eerie.
It's very surreal. It's very cool.
Came out in the wake of the X-Files, so it has that sort of vibe. Mark Snow even did the theme song to it. And the fourth series, which we don't have on DVD yet, but it is available on DVD, is an animated series called Game Over, which is very much like that TV series Drawn Together. It takes various characters from various fictions and has them sort of living together in a sitcom-type situation. Only Game Over, it's CGI animated video game characters. It sounds terrible.
It looks terrible.
It looks terrible.
I mean, there's probably fine for the time, but my God, Serge is very active down there.
He's very antsy in my lap down.
Yeah, how you doing there, buddy? You
He's
want to say hi to the nice folks?
do more cat shows.
Okay, we have to do more cat shows, apparently. Well, we'll get to that at another time.
We'll do Father of the Pride at some point.
Ooh, must we?
I brought it up now.
Sometimes
now.
Sometimes I regret our life choices. So those are your options. Okay, you can pick Game Over, the animated sitcom about various video game characters. You can pick Haunted, the Matthew Fox private detective supernatural show. You can pick Legend, the other Briscoe County Jr. And you can pick Nowhere Man, which was The Fugitive meets The Prisoner. And I've seen some of those. And honestly, at least one of them is actually quite good.
Yeah.
Like one of them's like legitimately good.
I'm eager to see if there's some sort of unifying ethos to the UPN, because we're going to get to more UPN shows as we go on, because it is a treasure trove.
And the unifying theme I see with UPN is absolute desperation. Just, do you like this? Is this what you want?
Is this going to be hip?
Is this what you want?
They really just sneezed everything they could at a wall, and only a few things stuck. I think Roswell was one of theirs.
No. I think Roswell was WB, I think. What happened was when WB like vanished, or WB would like lose stuff, and UPN would pick it up. Like they had like the last 2 seasons of Buffy.
Yeah, the WB was launched at a similar time, and they had their own failed shows, and UPN had all their own failing shows. They were passing shows back and forth, and eventually they both just sort of mashed together in this, mass plenum that became the CW, which is still around today.
Yeah.
And the CW has now evolved into a creature called Freeform. It's having children and spawning, and it's just
Freeform is
going
not CW, but
it's
it
not
feels
owned
like
by
an
the
offshoot.
CW, but yeah.
Yeah, the CW, like all
same
of their
thing.
like teen genre pandering, all of that was given birth on UPN.
Yeah.
They were just desperate, and every show they had was just trying to cater to this geek audience that they thought existed, and mostly didn't, except for Voyager. And then they tried Enterprise, I think, and that didn't work out terribly well. And
I believe the network folded in 2004.
they lost hundreds of millions of dollars in just a few years.
We actually looked this up recently. Over the course of, I think it was a decade,
Yeah, or less, I think. Yeah.
less than a decade, they lost $800 million.
And never let anyone tell you that catering to the lowest common denominator always works, because UPN failed.
UPN is
really bad.
Example one on why that's not true.
So we've been wanting to do a bunch of UPN shows for a while, and we thought this was a fun excuse. So vote in the poll. We will keep going until until there's a clear winner. Or until time runs out and we have to make a decision, much like we did this last time. Vote with your heart, vote with your conscience, vote with your soul. Just vote.
Vote with your spite. I don't care. Make us watch the bad one if you like.
That's fine.
We're up to it.
That's our job.
And like I said, I'm looking forward to Nowhere Man, but I think it would be the longest, like the most amount of TV we would have to watch.
I don't know, actually. 19 hours.
Yeah, that's like 24
That's a
full 1 hour episodes.
It's more than my mother the car. Yeah, that's a long one. Here's the thing, though. Don't forget, we plan to get to all of these eventually.
Yes, these were all mailed into us very generously,
Yes.
so even though one of these is going to be next in the poll,
We'll get to all of them. and that's the
we're just
plan.
going to get to that one first.
Yeah. So,
All of these are going to be watched.
Every single one.
As you see, we have them.
we have a whole big pile. So, everybody, thank you very, very much. Keep voting, and that's a wrap. Say goodbye, Sergio.
Goodbye. Father of the bride forever.